The it's now's a time of great change in the business. I guess at every point we always think now's a time of great change in the business, but now really is a time of great change in the business, right? With the kind of fracturing of how we look at movies and on what devices and what counts as theatrical and how important foreign is in the world and with the ascendancy of TV, where do you see this business going for the types of movies that you've been making for 20 years?
The truth is I have no idea. I just know that it's changing and changing more rapidly than any other time since I've been doing it. One of the things that we kind of have talked about is, even as a young company of 5 years old, you kind of get set in your ways of doing things. And part of reading about all this change that's going on is shaking us up to say, let's not think about the way we've done things in the past. Let's think about what makes sense for the future. And we use this phrase, don't fetishize the big screen. And what we mean by that is, the goal always for us was to make a movie that played in a theater. That was a theatrical movie, and that's the business that we're in. Well, now people are watching movies on their iPhones, on their iPads, wherever they want to watch it, whenever they want to watch it. And we could stay the same, but people watching movies want to see movies in different ways. And I think adjusting to that is not the biggest challenge, it's the biggest opportunity that we've had at any other time since I've been doing this. And for us, we're navigating our way, but it's really exciting. We, as an example, we saw a short film on YouTube 4 or 5 years ago called What's in the Box that we had liked, and someone else had been able to get the feature film rights. Well, we stayed on top of it for a few years, and eventually those rights came out of turnaround, and we've got those rights. And we're gonna make that movie next year with the same filmmaker who made the short. So one,
as their first film?
As their first film. That's interesting because we saw it from YouTube, but the more interesting is now all of a sudden it's opened up our mind to say, well, maybe we're not going to make that movie for a theatrical distribution model. It kind of came to life, you know, on the web, digitally. Why aren't we looking at platforms like that to exploit this movie?
And that more people will see it.
Maybe. I think 2.6 million people saw his short, so that's a pretty big number if you think about it. But just thinking in those terms, I don't even know what the answer is, but I do know that there is an answer, and there will be more answers with every year. That's really exciting. It may make the economics make sense for a movie like this. And in thinking about this forum, independent producers, particularly ones that are starting out, they have such an advantage in the sense that we're used to doing things a certain way, and you may not be. So you can be much more flexible and much more nimble than we can be. So if you see a crowdsourcing model that's working, give it a shot. If you see a digital distribution way of getting people to see your movies, give it a shot. It's not about not having anything to lose. It's about having everything to gain and beating the larger, more established, companies and people in this business to the marketplace and doing it. That's really exciting to me. I think we're going to see a lot of the democratization of it is going to offer us up a lot of new and exciting voices in terms of people making not just films but any type of creative content.